We approach the top of the hour. We have our coach from the north, Coach Kevin Callahan, Monmouth. Morning, Coach.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Going fine. Congratulations to you and your squad on the 2021 win at Lehigh, putting up 1-0. You can open up and talk about that victory. We'll start going into the questions, talking about the opponent.
Well, it's always good to start the year off with a win, and it was a game that going into it, based on the last 3 or 4 times we played Lehigh, we knew it would be a game that would go right down to the wire, and Saturday's game did as well. I thought we played very well in the first half, and then really kind of hit a little bit of a lull there in the second half, and to credit Lehigh, they got themselves back in the game. But then I was happy the way the resiliency our team showed and the way we kept battling, and as soon as Lehigh tied the score, we came back and retook the lead, then added to that. And then I was happy with the way that we finished the game off. Got the ball back with a little over 4 minutes left in the game, and just went out, and our offensive line really started to take control, and we were able to run the rest of the clock out, even with the timeouts they had remaining. All in all, I think it's a obviously it's a good win. It's great to be 1-0, but there is a lot of things we need to do in order to improve as a football team. I think we made a lot of first game mistakes that we've got to clean up. We hope to improve and be a decent football team this season.
All right, Coach. This time we'll start taking questions for Kevin Callahan. Press star 1 on your phone at any time. Click top of the browser. Click raise hand. Coach, while we wait for the question queue to fill up, talk about Delaware State playing Saturday.
Well, Delaware State, we haven't played them in a couple of years. I think we last played them in 2014, and they're coming off a opening week loss last Thursday night to the University of Delaware. They're a talented group. They've got some excellent skilled players on the offensive side of the ball, and they do a pretty decent job defensively. And this week's about us improving and correcting the things that we did wrong last week. I mean, we had far too many penalties for my liking, somewhat uncharacteristic for us, but just didn't do a good job in the penalty area. Had some substitution errors, had some assignment mistakes. If you're a good football team, those things aren't present for any game, and we've got to clean that stuff up. So we're looking to improve in all areas this week as we get ready for a very dangerous football team in Delaware State.
All right, Coach, we'll now move to questions for you, and the first one is Josh Newman of the Asbury Park Press.
Hi, Cal. How are you?
Good, Josh.
How do you feel like the offensive line played on Saturday, especially back breaking in, I think, green start?
Well, I thought they did a pretty decent job. As I said in the opening comments, I was happy with the way they were able to finish off the game. We were able to run the ball fairly well. On the day, we ran it 52 times, and averaged over 4 yards a carry. And, Levon Chaney had a big day with, 119 yards, and Zach Welch chipped in with just under 90 yards. So I think they did a pretty good job. They protected the quarterback pretty well, and we were able to get some movement, and that was extremely evident in the last 4 minutes of the game.
When you take a look at Cody, the pocket last time, he didn't really make a mistake with the ball, and then there was a time when he snapped his head, get pressed the line, throw it out of bounds. My question is, how much has his decision making here over time?
Well, those are the things that you need to have your quarterback do when he's back there. He's got to be a player that has poise back there, and he can't get rattled. And I think what we saw from Cody was, that he's taken a step ahead from where he was, certainly in the opening game a year ago. But I would even say he's taken a step ahead from where he was at the end of last. He has some physical tools, and last year there were some times where he didn't make the best decisions, and I think that year of experience has enabled him to learn and mature, and at least through game 1, he seems to be handling himself better in some of those adverse situations than he did a year ago.
And just to get one more in there, having running back like Levon, Zach, how much more dangerous or versatile that makes the offense, that there's different guys, different types.
Well, yeah, you're right. They have different styles. Levon is the smaller, quicker. Can get on the perimeter, catch the ball out of the backfield. Welch is more of a downhill power type runner, and I think they complement each other very well. The good thing is they're both guys that we have confidence in. They're guys that we can rely on, and if we keep them both healthy, that should give us quite a combination there in the backfield this season.
Thanks, Cal. Thanks.
Thanks, Josh. Okay, Coach, next question for you is from Eddie Octini, Monmouth School Network.
Mark, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. And Coach, obviously being at the game on Saturday, I was impressed with what Josh mentioned too. But I want to look at the other side of the football, and you're a defensive coach, and what you were able to do to a pretty powerful Lehigh offense, one of the better offenses a year ago. And what specifically about your defensive side maybe even impressed you a little bit with how far along they are this early in the season?
Well, I think that we were fairly disciplined in what we were doing, and I think that was probably the number one thing. There's a lot of areas on a physical standpoint that need to be better. To be quite honest, I didn't think we tackled particularly well, and I think we need to get more pressure on the quarterback. But I thought overall we were disciplined. Our run fits were pretty solid, and as a result of that, the Lehigh running backs really didn't have any place to go. I thought we ran to the ball fairly well, and we just played as a unit. Each guy was doing his job, and everybody was depending and relying on the guy next to him. And when you play good team defense like that, you have a good chance of being successful.
And Coach, one more question. Obviously Mike Steele gets a lot of well-deserved attention, being an All-American candidate at one safety spot. But curious to get your thoughts on what you thought Marcus Leslie did. He's obviously a veteran guy. He's played all over the field for you, but he just seemed as though, as taking the transition back there, that he seemed to be more comfortable than I think maybe a corner moving a safety should be that early in the transition.
Well, Marcus has played the last 2 seasons at the corner position for us, and we really felt that given his skill set, that he would be ideal at the safety position, and that's a move we made back in the winter. He had a spring at the position. He had a season period at the position, and I just think he's just natural back there. And he made a big impact in the game. Obviously, came up with a big turnover there at a critical point in the game. Was very active in the run game as well, and I just think he's a natural fit for the position, and very happy with the first game that he had there.
Coach, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Mark, as always, you guys do a great job, and best of luck to everybody.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thanks, Eddie.
And Coach, next question for you is from Edelson.
Hey, Coach.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I am good. Hey, I just wanted to go back in terms of significance of a day win like that at the back over the last, so it's been a lot of very close loss home like that. Just think from a program perspective, that was a really, really nice going that way.
Well, it's always, as it's always good to start the season with a win. It's something that honestly we haven't done all that many times, but to get a win on the road, to be 1-0 after week 1, I think it creates a foundation that we can build on for the season.
And again, against the Lehigh, that you guys have had really a tough game against. I would just think right now, compared to 8 years ago, this program, we have on with scholarship and everything, better prepared for the game, for some of the games we have coming up over the next month than were 2-3 years ago. Maybe just talk about that. How far the program has come.
Yeah, well, sure. I think as we've gone from having in the mid-30s in scholarships seasons ago, to the low to mid-50s in scholarships now, that's certainly added to our depth. I think it helped us increase our talent level. And you mentioned Lehigh specifically. It's put us closer to where they've been the last couple of years with their scholarship. So, we're not quite to the level they are at yet, but we're getting closer to that. And I think that you can see that in the type of players that take the field for us. It's helped our recruiting, it's helped our depth, it's helped our performance on the field.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Steve. Coach, I've got one more question for you before we let you go. Just Darnell Leslie, Zach Talley back after missing last year with injuries, both reporting as sacks. How well they played and how they looked in the opener.
Well, and they were certainly very excited to be back in action. Darnell's been out a long time, and to get him back on the field gave a bit of a shot in the arm to our entire defense. I know he was very excited about it, and he played very well on Saturday. It's good to have him back. And you mentioned Zach Talley, who got hurt early in the third game of last season, so really missed most of that year. To get him back out there and see him have success is really good. Having those guys back adds some depth to the defensive end position for us. It allows it kind of allows us to do some different things on defense because they are a bit older than certainly the guys we had playing in those positions last year. And I think they're going to provide good leadership to that defensive line group.
All right. Well, Coach, that's all the time we have for you, but thanks for joining us. Good luck Saturday at Delaware State.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Mark.
All right. Talk to you next week.
Thank you.